Welcome back everybody to R44's YouTube channel. Today is the MHC G87 Edition 1 kit reveal. So we've done everything a little bit different to normal. We haven't released any renders. Well, we did one render, but we blurred out the whole kit. So you guys couldn't see anything anyways. So yeah, we've changed up the style a little bit. I wanted to show you guys how it actually all comes around and how MHC kind of processes through everything and then delivers you a really high quality product by the end of it. So I wanted to show it from start to finish, release it here, and then on the 31st of the 5th, so 31st of May, we will release the MHC Edition 1 kit fitted onto the R44 demo car and show you guys in full glory how it looks. So within the release of this video, we'll then release a production video and then the final fitted kit all in the space of a week. Hopefully MHC will be the first to the market. Things have been a little bit slow recently because the US market obviously got the cars nice and early. The UK market doesn't have the cars for another couple months, and Europe, the European market has just received a delivery. And funny enough, we bought our car from Europe, so that way we could be the first here in Europe. So just thought I'd highlight, this is one of my favorite photos of our San G80 and a good friend of ours, Toronto Red, fitted with the MHC kit back in the day in about, I'd say, probably this time in May in 2021. So here we go. Let's run it off. Let's show you guys the Edition 1 kit. So here it is, the MHC G87 Edition 1 kit, fitted on this render, quite a cool grey car, stanced out on some HREs. Here you can see the front lip. So really clean design along the front, and then again, it kind of rebates back in, and there's another front lip in the center with some nice ducts facing into these air ducts in here. If we look at the front and the side together, you can see this profile kind of runs across into a flat side skirt with a nice hidden detail here. And you can see it actually looks quite good on the renders. There's a nice little rebate because the arches of the G87 are just so wide. And then at the rear, we've got a really nice three-piece rear diffuser and a rear spoiler that I'll kind of showcase to you guys a little bit later. But let's bring it all the way back. Let's go, what is the step one of designing a carbon kit for a car? So I actually got this scan data for MHC a little while ago. It was initial scan data. This, if you show this to a designer, they'll be like, oh, this isn't great. But to a designer, this is still a good starting point. So I got this very early on. This gave MHC the kind of big step forward. They can start designing things in general, kind of look at the fixing positions, quite understand how it's all going to be installed to the car. They then went on to obtain a full car scan data so they can start really seeing the design in real life on a computer and kind of figure out dimensions of the bumper, kind of how they look with the ducts and little things like that. But yeah, let's run through this scan data here and kind of show you guys. So BMW done a great job giving us loads of 10mm sockets to work with to make sure the installation is as strong as possible. We've also got some self-tapping fixings going to be installed here because the distance is just too big. So if you try and, if the car's getting up to speed and some air gets in between this distance, that you can look at pulling the side of the front lip down. And then let's have a little look at the bumper design. So there's a nice flat face here, and then it curves back around and then into this big square inlet. You've got some big inlets here, and then there's these nice two air ducts that have some nice shapage, which you'll see in the design. So overall, it's for a design point of view, it's a really good bumper to work with. We've got some nice designs, but it is very hard to make a design for this car because it is so square at the front. But let's have a look at the front splitter design. So this is MHC's Edition 1 front lip. I think it looks pretty damn good. I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to kind of showcase to you guys. I've seen this now throughout 3D printed. So once they've made this design, they then 3D printed it, tested it on the car, and then went on to make the first production piece. But let's have a look at the design. So let's start straight off with the fixing details. So you can see here, the fixings, you've got elongated holes. So this allows adjustment to get the fitment perfect. So obviously, if you fit this in 2 years' time and the car's been through a little bit of a war, then it will still fit perfect. You've got the additional self-tapping screws along the front, as well as a nice tape line of adhesive tape all the way along the front of the front lip. And this will make sure it fits perfectly to the car and it stays there for as long as you want. So we zoom back out and let's have a look at some of the profiles. So if you look here, so you've got this part here that runs across the front bumper and then meets the gloss black section along the front of the car. But these two quite aggressive kind of air kind of ducts as such that push the air up into the front bumper and I guess go around to the cooling of the brakes. If we have a look at this side of the, it's probably one of my favorite areas of this front lip is the side here where it follows the body line down, so nice and flat. So if we go back to the scan data, you can see here, ooh, this flat section of the front bumper, then it's rounded off. So if we go back here, then rounds off, follows that line really nicely, and there's some really nice kind of details in the carbon that will just, I think, look really good. The front profile, again, it's nice and aggressive, nice and thick along the front, and then gets a nice thin kind of aggressive point here, which it's looking, really good. So overall, MHC have thought about everything from the fixing of the car, using OEM fixing, some additional ones just for strength, and then some final tape to get it perfect, and then just a really clean design. So going on to the bottom of the splitter, it's essential that obviously a lot of people, including myself, I install ASEX on lip protectors. So MHC have got a nice 35mm return all the way around the front lip, so you can fit those lip protectors, as well as you can get access to all the screws. And things like this have been elongated, and this is where MHC really set themselves apart from the rest. They're really thinking about all the fixings, and that's kind of biggest priority is the fitment, then it's onto the quality, and then the value. So this is made in pre-preg carbon fibre here in the UK, so manufactured in the UK, so lead times are a lot less, quality is maintained all the way through, as well as we can get the value down, because it's, we don't have to ship it across from anywhere. It's pretty much just driven from about midway up the UK all the way down to London and shipped globally. So that's quite cool. And we'll look at the production of things a little bit later on. So a bit boring, leaving that one up there. So let's have a look, wrap up the front lip, just show you one more time. We have a little look from the hole like that. Zoom in. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited to showcase this to you. So let's look at the side skirt. So looking at the renders first, you see a flat side seal, and then you can see this return. You can see the arch is just huge on the new M2, which we love. A really wide stance from the M2 is what we want, and that's what's really drawn the F87 out to everybody. So nice flat side seal with this little return here, and a really nice profile in here. And again, this is a glance looking down. So again, MHC started off with this render design, then gave it to the CAD guys, and they started the design. This is the 3D data that I obtained for MHC, which is really showcasing how wide this kind of section is. And then looking at the fixing positions was obviously the first kind of question: how are we fixing this? There are no hole positions along this section of the side skirt, which is a bit of a shame, makes things a bit difficult. But there are some 10mm sockets along the back here, but the distance from the 10mm to the front face, so this is a 10mm, for example, to this front face is too much. When you stand on the side skirt by accident, it's going to rip it down and things like that. So let's have a look at the design and figure out what MHC have done about that. Here is the design. So you can see a nice flat line all the way along with a really nice profile. Coming down to the back, you see it kind of comes in nice and aggressive, but then kind of flows back out, which I think is going to look really clean with the rear end of this car. So you can see there, just really clean. You can see the edge profile, really nice. And I think, this is just what the car needs. The Edition 1 kit, again, isn't too aggressive. It's just like an OEM plus look. And then as we go into maybe the kind of Revo 1 kit, which will really showcase some aggressive styling that we can do with the M2. We look at the fixings. Again, self-tapping hole, so pre-supplied in the box. You'll get 4.8mm self-tapping screws made out of stainless steel, and a nice tape line all the way along the side skirt to get a nice bonding between the side skirt and the body line, so you don't get any dirt and debris stuck between here. So again, as you'd expect, MHC have really thought about everything here. And yeah, that is the side seal. So if we just have a brief look back at the render design, that's how it's going to be looking. And I saw these fitted up on my car and they just look 10 out of 10. The rear, let's have a look. Here it is, the Edition 1 rear end. As you can see, a nice spoiler design, quite high on the sides, low in the middle, and I think this kind of is what's needed on the rear of the car. It's so wide on the sides, we need some height on there, but the bumper the boot lid actually is quite high anyways, so that is I think it's going to look really good. We've actually held production with MHC on that spoiler bit for the moment because we're just trying to understand what the car needs as we go into the second kit design. But we do have already two spoilers. We have a really clean kind of CS style spoiler and the M Performance one on catalog with MHC, and already live on the R44 website. So we do have spoilers, so there's no point rushing into a new spoiler so quickly to then think we could have changed it ever so slightly. But rear diffuser, you can see two additional fins here and a nice little rebate in this, which is going to make it really aggressive. And then the three-piece design, these corners, which just look, I think, just make it squat down and look really, really aggressive. So again, I'm really excited to showcase this to you guys. Let's have a little look at the scan data. So here's the rear bumper. So you can see this is the OEM gloss black diffuser, very basic, flat faces. The M Performance diffuser is exactly the same, but in carbon fiber, so a real shame. And then you can see here where we're going to fit a three-piece wing, little splats. If we have a look at the fixing details, there are two screw fixings here that we can use, two 10 mils, and then a nice long face for some adhesive tape, which is perfect. They're a nice strong fitment. And then there's clips all the way along the top, all the way along the sides, and annoyingly clipped on the bottom. Whereas on the G80, there was two little push fixings, which made the bottom, the removal of the original one quite easy. You could get the bottom out and then you can work on the top. Whereas this one is a little bit harder, and I'm talking from a bit of experience. So it's a shame, but it is life. It just makes sure that the fitting of the aftermarket one is going to be even better. So what do we think? Let's have a little look. I think pretty damn good. So we have a look down the side. You can see the center kind of fins are a little bit more aggressive, so the side profile is going to look quite good. And then let's have a look at this rebate section here. So you can see some nice profiles where it kind of comes out, and there's a nice little rebate there. And we just wanted to add that just to add some more aggression to the rear diffuser, because it is a little bit flat, and this is the Edition 1 kit. So again, very OEM plus design style, not crazy aggressive. But definitely aggressive enough. So if we look at the fins here, you can see that they kind of pair up. We MHC opted that the kind of fin meets up with the side of the diffuser instead of goes underneath, and I think that's really nice. It keeps a nice flat section all the way along. These are quite a little bit rounded, so they come up a bit, and I just think it's going to look really fat. It's just going to look beautiful from the back, and then these drop down ever so slightly. So again, let's have a brief look at the fixings. So you can see we've got two screws for those OEM fixings. One's elongated, so you can just make sure the fitment of this section is bang perfect. And then we do have a tape line all the way along, so it's nice and tight to your body. You have no dirt getting in there, which looks really good. Yeah, and then we just utilize all the OEM clip positions on the top, the bottom, and on the bottom here. And these will be perfect. It's the same clip design as the G80, and if you have a G80 diffuser from MHC, the fitment's pretty damn good. But if we have it back on here, you can see there's these pockets there, which I think are really good. So MHC's first design, they were taking the design up here, and I just thought we might as well make some pockets and make it look really aggressive, kind of like what BMW have done with these square designs in this area. So yeah, that is the rear diffuser. Overall, we have a little showcase what it's going to look like from the front. It's just going to look really clean and just that extra little bit. So yeah, this is the first look over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The audio is good, the visuals are good. We are going to improve things. I don't think we're at the best that we can be, but it's definitely a start. And I just wanted to showcase the Edition 1 kit in this way. The next video will be the production of the product here in the UK, showing you from the pattern design to the mold making to the product, the painting and everything in between. And then on the 31st, we'll show you this kit installed to a car. So yeah, crazy excited. If you do want a kit, these are now live down below. Hit the links in the description or hit up your local MHC dealer. So if you're in the US, you've got the likes of I&D, you've got PSI in Florida, or you've got Euroclass over in kind of LA way. So they're quite scattered around. Otherwise, Extreme Powerhouse down in Vegas, and again, if you're in Europe, you've got Story BMW, GP Products, and anyone in Germany, you've got Alitsky Tuning, you've got Dan over at Twist and Fix, you've got loads of guys and girls across the globe. So otherwise, just hit us up. and let's get these ordered. Let's get them fitted to your car. And if you have any questions, hit us up in the DMs on social media or in the emails. Thank you guys as always. It's been a pleasure, and we'll speak to you guys soon.